welcome to the first episode of 2023 for the Friday Night Movie Podcast. And we're going to start by listening to some viewer feedback on our last episode, because I think a lot of people were afraid that the last episode was our last episode, because one, Tony Dobish, he of Take Two podcast fame, he offered, for example, to step in sometime as a guest host should Lily and Becky kill each other.
I mean, reasonable reaction. Lily, are you frozen?
Have you gotten any feedback?
I got one message immediately after the episode dropped that said, Becky's really on one. And I was like, yeah, she's like out to get me for some reason. She clearly
I think it was pretty
cookie,
clear why.
a cookie or a nap. Is it because of the nap? And then I got a
look. Becky often needs a cookie or a nap. If she's
unsurprisingly, no one gave me their feedback.
Everyone was afraid to give Becky there. I think that says
great.
a lot about that episode.
And then I got another one. Oh man, the way you got under Becky's skin in the best of episode was vintage Lily, and the reason you're the best character.
So Lily's power rankings seem to have gone up because of her mistreatment of you, Becky. I hope you remember.
No, because I was being mistreated. I think you're remembering it wrong.
No, but that's not how you were described there. Okay. Well, the year is new and the vibes are a million times better. Why? Because we had another classic Corman New Year's together as orchestrated by our mother in her and Dad's apartment in Philly. It was, do we ever need more than our family to entertain ourselves? No, everyone there was related to us.
Do we need a karaoke machine? No. Did we get one? Yes.
I would like it known that I don't want to say I saved the day, because Mom and Dad really created the entire environment, but I did commit to getting a karaoke machine to Mom and Dad's before the show. In fact, that may have led to some of the agitation that caused our last episode, because I had pushed the timing so I could order the karaoke machine to Mom and Dad's, but it arrived an hour before the party started. And I think it was a hit, because not only did it provide music, but it also provided a constant stream of disco lights. And Mom specifically said, Shai, not just can you get me a karaoke machine with like 1 day's notice, but can you get me a disco ball?
That karaoke machine caused a huge fight between us, though. Do you remember?
Right before the recording of last
Right before the recording.
Yeah, so last episode,
it all ties together.
I'm always wondering if Becky is on the podcast. That is how I led up to the story. The relevance of that story and the karaoke and the New Year's is that I may have made you both extremely agitated before the last episode because I delayed us while I ordered the karaoke machine.
You know what's so funny? Going into that episode, I thought you and Lily would be fighting the whole time, because I wasn't agitated at all about the karaoke machine. And then, did I really lose it?
Well, you never know.
You never know what's brewing underneath.
You never know when Becky passes the cookie threshold. But the karaoke machine, that moment, that valley of anger and agitation and humor for everybody listening, led to one of the most fun nights we've had in a long time. It was a delightful evening. Some highlights included my older daughter and I leading the family in an absolutely insane game of charades. And I would like it known that our tactic is to, sometimes there's a theme for charades. We go with no theme. You could get...
You go with things that aren't even like phrases or movies. You just put two words together and hope for the best.
That outshined the karaoke.
But that
one of the ones I picked was a cat with a mustache.
Yeah, and you got it. Becky is, by the way, she fights her words, is the best at charades.
I'm very expressive. I'm a big hand talker for anyone who knows me in person.
And
I have very expressive eyebrows, I've been told. It's so much so that sometimes it throws people off in conversation with me because my eyebrows are going wild. And so I guess it is no surprise that I'm great at charades.
In a previous game, Becky got French Revolution. You got Lily guessed Becky saying French Revolution. So Hive mind. Maybe we should do a video episode of just charades. No, I don't think anyone's in a podcast
that'll be for the Patreon that we don't have.
For the Patreon that we don't have.
You can play charades with us and lose to us.
And karaoke had many highlights. Lily kicked it off with some Sweet Caroline, which was really
a classic.
Which was really a good.
Shout out to Shelly.
That song's really been ruined for me, but it is great. It got everybody in the mood.
Why was it ruined for you?
Because of Boston, the whole city of Boston.
The whole city of Boston ruined it. Why do they sing it?
They sing it at Red Sox games. I don't know.
Why is it a Boston song?
They played at other baseball games, but it's a Boston.
But why is that a baseball song?
Is Neil Diamond from Boston? I think he's from New York.
Is there any baseball references in it?
Park thing. Anyways. Mom and Dad sang Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. That was
saying again is a stretch.
That was a big hit.
Spoken word.
But the biggest moment
some of the words
was I would say one of the biggest moments was my older daughter singing Perry Grip's modern day classic Yum Yum Breakfast Burrito in a duet with Becky's husband.
Such a beautiful moment.
We might as well have seen the Rolling Stones on stage. Every single person of 3 generations was up.
It's more likely for you to see Rolling Stones on stage than Becky's husband doing karaoke.
Yeah. And for you to be that close, so for them to be playing in your living room, it was amazing. And it was a huge success. Although Becky and Lily, as seen on our Instagram, Becky and Lily, you had a few complaints about the setup. You felt like you were invited to Mom and Dad's party, but had to do a little too much work. No. We should have a bumper that comes on that says like, Becky and Lily ungrateful.
Let's hear what happened. Okay, first of all, we did do all the helping because we did.
Absolutely.
And when Mom came to my kid's birthday party, she spent 2.5 hours frying latkes. I owe the woman. That's fine. But just so we're clear on how the events rolled out. First, Mom says she wants to spend New Year's with us. And I say, I'm not going out. I don't want to travel anywhere. Then she says, okay, but I want to have everyone at my apartment. Lily's like, I'm going to be in Philly. And I go, okay, fine. I'll go to Philly, but I'm not going to go out in Philly. I'll stay in for New Year's. And she says, okay, that's great. We'll have you guys over. We'll just stay in for New Year's. And then I very quietly hear her whisper one time. She's visiting us. She's on her phone. She goes, you know what? I'm just going to make it a party. I'm going to do an Evite. And I go, right? So now she's like sending out an Evite to like a bunch of the cousins, which is great. We love our cousins fine. And then we hear, another curveball. We've ordered some like special deli from New York. We're going to be bringing in deli. And look, I got these decorations. And look. And now all of a sudden it's like 4 or 6 hours before the party begins. And she is freaking out because Lily and I are not cleaning and setting up for her party.
Because we're staying at the apartment that the party is in.
She made me come to Philadelphia for to stay in her apartment.
When you have an apartment full of children, there's no reason to clean until the very last minute.
But also, you invited me to Philadelphia to stay in your apartment. Then you decided to throw a party. And then you told me I was responsible for said party.
And then you should have seen Becky's face when she asked Mom if there were potato chips.
Oh, no, that was a Shonda. That was a Shonda.
I mean, I love
serve deli and not a lot of potato chips.
There was so many chips, but
tortilla chips.
Right, you can't. Tortilla chips don't go with deli. They can be an appetizer for deli, but they don't go with deli.
It was like pretzels and tortilla chips and popcorn. So much popcorn, but no potato chips. You want me to eat a turkey sandwich on rye and not have a potato chip? Are you out of your mind?
And Shai went and got the potato chips.
Again, second moment where I saved the day on this New Year's. That's our theme here.
Okay.
In fact, maybe that's the name of this episode.
But I also feel like having Shai go get potato chips is like asking the Coast Guard to like watch the kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Right? It's an extreme It's an
Overkill.
extreme like overkill.
It led to its
Shai
own
Give
fit
me
on
all of your
Instagram.
eggs and bacon. I mean,
In
but
case you didn't
but
understand.
also it was very me because I didn't want to go far, so I only went to CVS. So I was just dealing with what was in the
I was going to
CVS.
say there are no more potato chips left at the CVS
But
on Spruce and Minty.
everyone had a comment to me. I have these two, I had 2 baskets filled with and I'm waiting on the self checkout line. One guy just like, oh, it's a lot of chips, buying a lot of last minute chips. Bet you're gonna have $100
because
chip bill. I said, back off, sir.
First of all, if there's anything worth spending $100 on, it's chips to
I didn't spend
ensure the
$100 on
success of the
chips, by the
deli
way.
platter.
I put in Allie's phone number as the
Good, tell me,
extra care
but
card.
but let's
And what did you get?
Do you want to price it right?
Let's guess what kind of crazy thing Shai has spent $100 on. Though. That'll be a different game. Price is right. I'm gonna say because chips aren't that expensive. But I'm gonna say
I will say the individual small bags were
they're kind of expensive.
Yeah, we're a little.
I originally wanted to say 87. I'm gonna go with 68.
Okay, she goes with 68.
I'm gonna go with
Becky goes
68.
68. Lily, I'm checking the receipt now. Lily.
Oh, 68's a great number. I'm going to say 75.
Ooh.
Well, you know what? The issue is that I can't verify it right now, but I think it was more like 56. So you're both
we're
over.
both over.
That's surprising.
It might have been 60 something, but you're both
What
over.
kind of weird things have you spent $100 on? I'm gonna guess. Like, for example, there was that time
Chocolate
where
bars.
Allie was like, I'm in the mood for a cookie. And then you door dashed $100 worth of stuff from 7-Eleven just so you could get her one cookie, right? Like, that's the kind of stuff.
I did do that once. So my wife could have a cookie. Yes, I absolutely did that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Are there other things that I've done? Well, I mean, the pandemic really enabled me ordering things. So yes, I did do that with Carvel ice cream a number of times where I order like a whole cake and then I'm like, well, since I'm ordering the cake, I'll throw a few extra things in there.
This is like classic Shai. Well, I'm ordering one cake for Thanksgiving. I might as well get 2 cakes for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, I did that. That's what I did. We still have that cake. Are you kidding? Now you come to my house.
Do you still have some Fudgy? You still have some Fudgy the Whale?
Still some Fudgy the Whale. Still have some Turkey Tom. $51.46. Okay.
Ooh,
oh wow, we were both over.
Should have been $1.
Now looking ahead. Now looking ahead to 2023, we're going to play a little buy rent meh of the Q1 of 2023. So not all the 2023, and I just potpourried this. I just jumped around. If we missed something, I'm very sorry. And I want to reference something that the great Liz Nord put out the other day, which is Liz Nord mentioned, that people shouldn't have worst lists because movies are really hard to make. And I want to take a moment to recognize that is 100% true. Right. I forget who one of our friends said recently, it's really hard to make a bad movie.
Gabe.
It was Gabe Diani. 100%. And
it's like impossible to make a great movie.
Yeah,
it's a miracle.
And exactly,
they're all somewhere in the middle.
When we rank something as meh, we always make a point of saying that the meh isn't necessarily negative, and also we're doing this in good fun. So, but in general,
but let's be clear, a bleh is not in good fun.
No, a bleh is not in good fun, and I'm allowed to be angry about The Last Jedi. I'm not blaming all the people who worked on it.
I'm allowed to be angry about The Irishman. He's a
Oh
seasoned director.
my gosh, especially because we've been watching The Offer, where they have someone playing a young Pacino, and you're like, so you could have just cast young men to play them.
Well, also in The Irishman, The Irishman actually crosses over with the story, I think. Like the real life story of The Irishman I was reading, I think actually crosses over with
nice things about that story, Shane.
No. But my point is this: is that
did you see that in theaters?
Preface
Lily?
before as we kick off the new year.
I'm so sorry for you. What a wait!
It was the first movie I saw with a babysitter when I had a baby to be able to go out to the movies, and it was 3.5 hours long, and the babysitter was so mad. It was a disaster.
My point is
never
that
ended.
when we rank something low, we're not definitive experts on this. You're talking to the guy who defends Cats the movie more than anyone. Okay, I love that movie.
But you're entitled to your opinion. You don't
You're
have
entitled to
like
your opinion,
everything.
absolutely. But nothing is definitively bad or not good. Everyone should go see what they want to see. And I'd much rather see people's opinions than aggregated scores on Rotten Tomatoes. So that being said, we are going to play a game now with ranking. Buy, rent, meh. It's the signature game of Friday Night Movie. If it's your first time checking it out, it is the universal rating system. A buy is a movie that you would buy, you would put in your collection. It doesn't have to be an Oscar winner. We could do stars if you wanted to get into the details around that, but it's a movie that you want to own. A rent is a movie you'd also like to see, but maybe you're not going to commit to putting in your collection. And a meh can have many different meanings. It does not necessarily mean it's the worst, but it's not the buy or the rent. Okay. And then a bleh, which is the extra card that you throw maybe once a year at most. Like, that's a Last Jedi situation. All right. Big movie franchises are coming back this year. Got some big ones coming, and I can't wait to hear Lily's opinion on these first. Okay. Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania.
No.
So that is Paul Rudd.
What's worse than Blair? No.
Paul, what? They're going into the quantum realm. They're going to fight Kang the Conqueror.
I have to tell you, I love Paul Rudd so much, and I would watch it just to see him for a couple of hours, like to hang out with him for a couple of hours. But story-wise, CG-wise, character-wise, I do not feel compelled to spend hours on this.
So wait, I have three for you. I have John Wick 4. There's more John Wick to tell. And there is Shazam Fury of the Gods. So buy, rent, and
okay, well, this is very easy. I'm buying Shazam Fury of the Gods. Cannot wait
Zachary
for that.
Levi,
so excited for it.
James Gunn, please keep
and
this
now we have all the grown-up Shazammers.
Yeah, like
I don't
Adam
know
Brody
the gods.
people.
Yeah, the Adam Brodies are going to be in it. It's going to be so much fun. So that's for sure a buy. I'm going to rent John Wick because I've never seen any John Wick, but I'm more likely to watch John Wick 4 out of order than Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania.
You probably don't need
I believe, Becky, that is the correct answer.
I buy Shazam because Zachary Levi is amazing. Shazam is the most underrated of the superhero movies. People don't pay attention to how great and fun that movie is, and I'm sure the second one will be awesome as well. And I'm going to rent Ant-Man and Wasp because Paul Rudd, and I'm excited about Kang the Conqueror. And I've never, the John Wick movies, I get people really, really love them. The John Wick movies have never been my thing. I've never been into them for a variety of reasons. Okay. Now I'm filing, this is a little bit of a potpourri category. The first two are movies I know Allie wants to see because of the amount of abs that are in them. And then
I know where this is going.
And then
by abs, do you mean buns?
Cute pony.
And then I threw in Dungeons and Dragons because it just sort of fit. Okay, so Creed 3, Magic Mike's Last Dance, which has a very compelling preview, by the way, and Dungeons and Dragons. And is the Dungeons and Dragons is it Chris Pine?
Who's in that one?
Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, it's Chris Pine. And is it Michelle Rodriguez?
Is it a new movie?
Pine,
is this a second?
Michelle Rodriguez, Hugh Grant.
Right.
It must be.
Yeah, Hugh Grant's doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
What is this? But they made a Dungeons and Dragons in 2000 with Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, that's from a long time ago. Yeah. I like
this.
That
Is
one.
different. What is this?
This is a charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. I personally would really
based on
love
the
to
game. Oh, it is Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's based on the actual Dungeons and Dragons world. There's no straight story in Dungeons and Dragons, like straightforward story. So you can do a lot of different things.
Well, you're like always creating your own story. That's what you have what are they called? Not the game
dice.
Master. What are they? What's the guy
called?
You
have the dungeon master.
The campaign, the person who plans the campaign.
The dungeon master. Now, have you ever seen? Do you remember the cartoon from when we were kids? That is the one I want to see made into live action. That was some nightmare fuel. That is when the kids go to the amusement park and they fall backwards into the Dungeons and Dragons universe and are just stuck there till the end of the show. It's like imagine Lost, but it's teenagers and they're being like hunted. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So so buy, rent, meh these.
I'm gonna buy. What's the story of Creed 3?
In Creed 3, so there's no more Stallone.
Stallone, because his character dies, right? Rocky dies, right?
Is he? I don't know if he dies. I don't know if he's dead.
I thought he
He's not in
dies.
the movie.
I thought
Oh,
he
he's
had
gonna
cancer
die?
or something. Doesn't he?
I mean, he
die?
had cancer in the first one, but then he beats cancer. I don't know if his character is dead
just
or
kidding.
if he's just
I don't
not in
know.
it.
What's the story of Creed?
Adonis has been thriving in both his career and family life, but when a childhood friend, it's with the guy from that weird crazy Jonathan Majors.
Oh, it's from Majors. Who's playing
yes!
Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Quantum Realm?
Stop mentioning that movie, Shai.
Stop trying to convince us.
What was the show that we loved, the horror show that we loved with
Lovecraft Country?
Lovecraft
Thank
Country.
you, Lovecraft.
And this one is going to be directed by Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, Adonis. Well, okay.
Really?
Adonis has been thriving in both his career and family, but when a childhood friend and former boxing prodigy resurfaces, he gets out of jail. I saw the preview. The face-off is more than just a fight, and the rival is played by Jonathan Majors, who's phenomenal.
Okay, so Jonathan Majors. Okay, so let's just start here. Let's start with Magic Mike is the buy. That's not debatable. All right. Creed. Now
Creed
moving
3
on.
is my buy. Are you kidding?
Creed
They're moving
3. Jonathan Majors pushes it into the rent. Is the story that interesting? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't sound that
Here's
compelling.
my pitch for Creed 3. My pitch for Creed 3 is that this is the first of the Creed movies that is basically moving away from the Rocky story entirely. Creed is now really going to stand on his own story with its own backstory. This isn't, this isn't completing any arcs from the Rocky world. This is really him on his own. And I'm really excited to see that. And I think Majors is such a great actor that the fact that they're investing in a great actor as his opponent is going to like level this up.
Okay, but let me ask you, you say it's your buy, but when you compare it to Magic Mike, how many buns are in your movie?
I mean,
I think there's going to be a lot of pecs.
No, see, Magic Mike is going to be
a lot of
my
pecs and guns.
It's going to be my meh.
It's going to be pecs and guns, but no buns.
Magic Mike is going to be my meh.
Pecs and
Not
guns.
because I low rank it, but because my wife is going to buy it so many times in the theater.
You don't
before
need to
I even
buy it.
get to see it. I won't need to spend money on it at that point. So
right.
Allie's
and I guess I don't even remember what the other one was, but clearly
Dungeons
no
and
one
Dragons.
cares.
Okay. Now let's get into a little bit of like the horror world. I love this because we have made Becky watch a bunch of terrifying things lately, and it's so fun to watch them with her.
It's actually really not fun. I'm still nauseous, and I'm texting behind your back about it.
I think X, really? You're texting behind my back about X? Yeah. I thought X was so cool. I want to watch Pearl. Okay.
I can't.
They're making a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
They're
no,
making a
the
second
answer to that
one.
is
the first one already came out.
That's
what? Really?
Isn't the first one already out?
I actually believe, I'm sorry, that deserves a bleh that you would bastardize those characters.
It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It follows Pooh and Piglet as they go on a rampage after Christopher Robin abandons them for college.
Absolutely not. I think you have to be demented. I think you have to be seriously demented to do something like that to these characters, and even more demented to watch it.
See, if you saw the Banana Splits movie,
were you unloved as a child? What happened?
Well, you guys know I'm very loved. The Banana Splits movie.
Guess who wasn't setting up?
I feel like this has been advertised for so long. This movie, I thought it was the second
because no
chapter.
one wants to release it and see it.
You have to watch this for us. You are our official terror.
I agree with Becky, but these characters are like just. Imagine if somebody made Ant-Man into a horror movie for you, Shai. It was apparently your favorite movie.
Buying Cocaine Bear,
like Skywalker becomes,
Yeah, you mean Luke Skywalker becomes a bad guy? Yeah, a grumpy old bastard. It ruined.
Yeah, that is true. Exactly. So moving on, I'm going to buy Cocaine Bear because Elizabeth Banks is directing, and it has a killer cast. I'm so happy she's doing something that feels a little more indie low budge.
Elizabeth Banks directed Pitch Perfect 2, which I think is superior to the first one.
She also directed
a real left turn
Charlie's Angels. I think it's such a great move.
I like that Charlie's Angels a lot too.
I love that Charlie's Angels, and I think this is a great move, and I'm so excited to see it. And so I will buy that. I will rent Scream 6 because Jenna Ortega is in it. Otherwise, couldn't care less. Right? Isn't she in it?
Yeah.
Or was she? Yeah.
Well, I
Very
mean,
happy for her.
I think she's awesome, but yeah, I'm fascinated by this Winnie the Pooh thing. So I'll buy Cocaine Bear and I'm gonna rent Winnie the Pooh. And Lily
will gladly watch it with you.
But I want to mention the Banana Splits movie, which I think is on Hulu. I forget where it's listed, but where they took these old characters from the HR Puffin Stuff kind of world. I forget what are those names of those guys who created those old but they played it as if these kids go to see a taping of the show, but the animatronic characters go crazy and kill everybody. It's a very funny movie. Okay. So that is our buy rent of upcoming movies. There's a lot more movies coming. There's some fun ones that look like they're coming ahead, like Champions, which I think looks really cool. 80 for Brady. Shout out to
our friend
Emily, friend of the podcast, produced that show. Produced that movie.
Korteweg.
Plus, what a great cast that it's got.
Yeah, we're so excited for her.
Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda and Sally Field. And who is the fourth woman?
That'll be a hoot. Gotta watch that one with
Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno.
Oh,
Moreno.
And then
No, you're the Spanish one.
Are these movies? Did you follow? Are these all coming in quarter one, or did you just
wait? When is Dune 2 coming out? I was just having this conversation last night. It's not coming out for like 2 more years, right? I just was getting so excited. Is it coming out soon?
I'm not reading
it's not
all
coming
of these
out anytime soon.
It says 2023.
Yeah, but the first quarter. I'm just talking about movies in the first quarter.
Who can look at release dates? Those get pushed all the time. No, I'm just saying movies I'm looking forward to. No, nobody cares that it's a quarter.
Do you think people are gonna?
It's not a business.
Josh Crew, our amazing guest, Josh Crew, wants to see Plane really badly. The one that's just about
We should do an episode on movies with one-word titles.
Plane.
Like Barbie.
Barbie looks fantastic. Margot Robbie is not going to mess this up. It's going to be awesome.
And neither will Ryan Gosling. That is going to be fantastic.
These are not people. They will crush this. It will be fantastic. I predict it'll be like a cult movie, like you're talking maybe Clueless level. I think Greta Gerwig plus those two, it's going to be so cool and weird. So what else do you want to see? Or actually, no.
I mean, I love your list. I love that your list that you have here. But shout outs and Rex.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been watching Slow Horses on Apple TV Plus with Gary Oldman and Kristen Scott Thomas is kind of like the villain-ish type one. Like, not really clear. And I don't really know anyone else in the cast. They're all British. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's basically all the MI5 rejects are put in an annex office where they do the worst, most boring, stupid work. Some chain of events unfold, a mystery ensues, and this band of, as Gary Oldman says, they're losers, but they're my losers, have to, work together to find their way out of this mess. And I think it's fun. It's like just mysterious enough, just exciting enough where an episode ends and I'm like, ooh, that was fun. I could watch another. But low stakes, not like, I'm having a lot of fun with that. And I definitely recommend it.
What about you, Lil?
So you won't let me mention movies because we're not sure.
Now we're in shout outs and Rex.
Oh my God, Shai, Lily. You know what? You're one to follow the rules. You're so concerned about the rules.
I saw Violent. Well, I just find it amazing that I didn't realize that release dates mattered.
I'm just trying to keep it organized so we don't talk about every movie right now.
To save some movies for later?
Save some movies for later, and I know you're in a rush.
So I watched Violent Night last night, which was fantastic because I watched it with mom and dad.
Also, we need to, and also, can you explain why Dad liked it? I feel like it's so unlike him to enjoy a movie like that.
No, it has Die Hard vibes. It has that 90s violent humor vibe.
That's exactly what Dad said. Dad was
playful,
this reminds me of Die Hard, and I feel like I have to rewatch that. He stayed up till midnight. Maybe he fell asleep a little bit at the beginning.
Did someone give him a cat nap? Did someone give him a cold brew? Did you guys ever hear that story? Hold on, sidebar. Have you heard that story? We were in
I mean,
Philly once,
I have.
and Vlad and him went for a walk, and he got Dad a cold brew, and he tried to warn Dad. He's like, "Listen, cold brews
Just
are
'cause
really
it's
strong.
cold.
They
Just
have
'cause
it has a lot of caffeine." And Dad's like, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine." He only drank maybe about a quarter, or let's say a third of the cup of cold brew, and threw it out. And this was 11 o'clock in the morning. 1 a.m. He is still awake, walking around the apartment at full speed, cleaning it. He cleaned it for like 6 hours. It was wild. So having Dad stay up late is miraculous.
He did not have a cold brew. I think he
He doesn't
slept
have a cold
during
brew.
the part at the beginning where it's like they're introducing the family members or whatever. They're in the living room a lot. Maybe he slept through that, but because that doesn't really matter. Once the action started, he was awake the whole time. And I think the fact that that each kill is going to be more creative and ridiculous, that he was anticipating the end. And the best was Mom, who loved it. Like, set a guy's head on fire, Mom is in. She was like, she thought that was the best. Mom kept being like, I bet you the end is that you need Christmas magic. I bet you need Christmas magic. And I was like, Mom, that's not this kind of movie. She's like, you'll see. And then at the end, when it's all about Christmas magic, Mom was like, this has to be our family Christmas movie every year. This is the movie we're all going to watch. She's like, it was amazing. And the truth is that David Harbour was awesome. Like, he really made the movie.
Yeah, he makes that movie.
And the fact that he's like, I don't know the rules, like it was great. And John Leguizamo was also fantastic. It was great. It was just a really fun movie. So I watched that with them, which was awesome.
That's really cool. I saw a really cool, gritty movie, crime movie called The Ghost Who Walks. Also kind of a Christmas movie. Well, at least it has.
It's cool. Never heard of it.
When did you watch that? I feel like when do you have time? In extra features. You and I are at the same place in the offer, yet you somehow managed to sneak in an entire feature film no one's even heard of.
Never stopping. Anyways, if you like, it's one of these gritty, takes place over one night. Guy gets out of jail, is trying to find his family and make things right while there are other criminals hot on his tail. It's directed by Cody Stokes, who I think did a really nice job. Garland Scott, the lead, I thought was really good. And it's if you like that kind of like 25th Hour, you know what I'm talking about, like that type of movie, it totally has that kind of vibes, and it's a cool indie gritty crime movie. I think it's the kind of thing Dad would probably like. Not an uplifting movie, but cool. And then I just can't say enough about The Offer. I love The Offer so much on Paramount Plus. Al Reddy, played by Miles Teller. I feel like Miles Teller is in like Robert Redford zone of acting. Like, he's so cool. He's I guess, I don't know if Robert Redford's different and everything, but like Miles Teller is just can be a leading man in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I describe it. And the relationship between him and Matthew Good as Bob Evans, and him and what's his name? Oh my God. I messed this up last time too.
Who are you talking about?
From the
Which
Goldbergs.
person?
Guy who plays Francis Ford Coppola.
Dan Fogler.
Dan Fogler is so
I talked
incredible.
about that last week.
I want to see a spin-off series of Dan Fogler playing Francis Ford Coppola in movies about movies Francis Ford Coppola made. Like, I want to see Apocalypse Now. Wouldn't that be such a crazy movie? But with Dan Fogler as Francis Ford Coppola. Then I want to see him doing Bram Stoker's Dracula, maybe The Godfather 3, not The Godfather 2, because I don't think there's a lot of drama in that one. I think that one they just had a lot of money and they made it. But I just love him as Francis Ford Coppola. It's so great. And with that, we kick off the new year. People have been asking us, by the way, the Signal Awards, January 10th is when they say they will give us announce the winners. So
exciting.
Thank you to everybody who voted. Thank you to everybody who listens to the show. And thank you to Lily and Becky for making those awesome episodes that we submitted. And with that, Lily, where can people follow you and Becky?
You can follow us at FNM Sisters on Instagram.
And FNM Sisters has a lot of the good stuff. Friday Night Movie is like the official.
For the record, I know our handle. You could also ask me sometime.
That's true. That's true.
Is it though?
You don't seem to be able to tag us in anything, so I'm not sure you do.
So particular.
And you can follow me at Pancake and the number 4 table, Pancake 4 table, on all the socials, and the podcast's official feed, Fry Night Movie, on Twitter and Instagram and other places. Join our newsletter at FridayNightMoviePod.com. And our theme music is by What Does It Eat? Thanks for doing the show, guys. Love you.
Thank you. Bye.